My name is Matt Baker. That's me. I perform my comedy show all over the world at colleges, cruise ships, and comedy clubs. I also go to a lot of towns that are off the beaten path. So, I created a show. I am going to be your official tour guide to the towns you've never heard of. And today we're going to Melville, Saskatchewan. Hey, what's going on? Day 3 here on the Canadian tour in Saskatchewan. No real news to report, but something I did notice, there isn't a whole lot of cell phone reception out here, but it's a good thing I brought my honing pigeon. I actually sent a message yesterday, LMAO, to my BFF, and I'm expecting a response sometime next week. Boom. Take that, AT&T. Got some big news. Only 3 days after my big post to Craigslist offering a Matt Baker comedy fan pack and a red paperclip for a house, I have finally got one response. First response, let's read it. This comes from You Are a Douchebag 2297. It says, "Hey Gaylord, why would anyone want your stupid ass fan pack? It is worthless. You are stupid and you look like David Arquette. The only difference is you are an unhip, untalented, unfunny, and Courtney Cox dumped you." Well, technically, Courtney Cox didn't really dump. Well, anyways. "You're a big piece of hot, steamy poo. You are so gay, my butt hurt." All right, we're just gonna move on. That was stupid. Anyways, but it should still be up on Craigslist. Trade in the Matt Baker fan pack in for a house. Or actually anything. Trade me anything for a Matt Baker fan pack. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to trade it for a house. The other big news of the day is I saw my first brown person. Yeah, they do exist in Saskatchewan. I was driving and the guy was running by me and I stopped and asked him if he needed a ride, but he didn't really want to talk to me. But there are brown people in Saskatchewan. Quote me on that. Town name of the day goes to Climax. Climax is in the southern part of Saskatchewan. It's 76% men and takes about 7 seconds to drive through. The women who live there are just faking it until they find a better town. Climax, for a town name, really, don't you think that's a little pretentious? If that's the climax of Canada, I don't think I ever want to come. Today we're focusing on the town of Melville. Melville's another town in southern Saskatchewan. If you go to Melville thinking you're going to see a bunch of people named Mel, you are out of luck. Melville is named after Charles Melville Hayes, a famous railroad worker who most notably died on the Titanic. I guess he ordered too much ice. You would think he's Canadian. He would have brought his ice skates. He would have skated to safety. You can't blame the Titanic. I think any ship would have gone down if they kept playing that Celine Dion song over and over and over.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you.
I did a little Titanic research, and the best Titanic joke goes to
Go on.
this joke. Which ship can never be hit by an iceberg? Friendship. Yes.
Between us.
The Titanic joke runner-up goes to this joke. What do you get if you try and cross the Atlantic Ocean with the Titanic? About halfway. Yeah. Unfortunately, there are no icebergs in Melville, but I did see one of these.
This is sad.
Melville is considered the smallest city in Saskatchewan, but they are considering to revoke that title because so many people are moving. There are some extremely famous people from Melville, people like Sid Abel, Tim Shavendell, Terry Poole, all of my favorites. There's some amazing art around town. As you can see, these silhouettes, they're all over the town, and you can actually take a walking tour throughout all of them and see all of the amazing silhouettes. Melville is also home of the famous hockey team, the Melville Millionaires. I think it's funny that they named their hockey team after the Millionaires, considering there's not one millionaire here in Melville. Seriously, why stop at millionaire? If I was to name a team after a wealth class, I'd call it the Melville Oprahs. I think it's kind of funny that I'm doing a show in a town named after a guy who died in the Titanic, because tomorrow I'm doing a show in a town named DiCaprio. Irony? Not a whole lot to report about the show here in Melville. It was pretty much completely silent, so silent you could hear the chimes of people's hearing aids. The cool thing about the show was actually in an awesome venue, a venue called the Melville Community Works. It's an old converted school, and they converted it into an art center. They actually bought it for $1. Now, if you're in Melville, you got to go check this out. They have an art gallery, they have pottery studios. So this concludes today's Towns You've Never Heard of. Today was about Melville. Check in tomorrow for a new town that you've never heard of and probably will never go to. Peace!